Ish, ikhondo lami alibonakali. Jesus. So how should what type of sit back is this? Yo, these are weird vibes. It's still cutting my damn head. Is it recording? Hayibo. Sanborani, hi everybody. I hope you guys are good. I'm relatively doing so well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And we're back with another video. If you're new, please do subscribe. If you're an oldie, thank you so much for keeping it consistent, even though I am sometimes out here struggling, but thank you so much for always just also retweeting my links, sharing, always on WhatsApp, putting them up. I really appreciate it so much. As you can see, we have a location change. Yeah. You have a location change, and that's something that we're also just going to be talking about in another video. But for this video, we are just going to be talking about seasonal lessons, and that's where I am. And I've been meaning to do a video on this for the longest of time, and it just also took something drastic happening for me to actually just sit down and say, actually, you're supposed to be having this conversation. For the longest time, you're supposed to be talking about this. I know for most of my friends, this has been a conversation in between us. We've been talking about it here and there. It's one of those things that I continuously find myself having to learn about. I really genuinely feel like there are lessons for each and every season, and every time we don't learn the necessary lesson for the season that we are in, then we end up taking so much of the mistakes, if you could call it that, so much of the ill behaviors into the next season that we go into, and it makes it super hard for us to be able to cope with the things that we are in the next season of. Yeah, I think that makes sense in my head. But in essence, okunengi that we're supposed to be learning in a particular season, masloko sikwencisa or singakufundi, then we go into the next season bleeding, and we go into the next season having not learned what is necessary for us to learn. So in this video, I'm just going to be, touching on the advantages and the disadvantages of us not learning the lessons that we're supposed to be learning in the seasons that we're supposed to be learning them in. So yeah, I really hope that you're going to be enjoying this video, and I'm going to be looking down quite a few times because in as much as I'm using my phone to record, I just wrote some notes down on my journal or in my journal. So here and there, I'm just going to be touching base and just checking them out, just also trying to expand on them. Usually I ask Uguti why this topic every other time that I do my Facebook videos. If you didn't know, I've been doing videos on Facebook every other Wednesday. So if you're keen on also watching those live videos, then you can always just go onto Facebook and just type in Google search area yako Ntosh Ntuli, and then in brackets is Ntosh. And there on every other Wednesday, we just find particular topics and we just spread them out and we talk about them, and we just open our minds to learning about other people's experiences, and other people, I would think other people also learn from the experiences that I might have possibly had. And it's also just so nice on that platform. I say what I feel and I say what I think, and I speak of my experiences, and other people come through and they expand on those, and I get to also learn from their perspective what exactly is it that there is to learn. Because even though there might be a platform for me to be speaking the entire time, there are other people that are coming through and saying, okay, wait, but stop talking, can you just listen to my story? And it's just a great, I almost said a great working environment, but it's a great learning environment. So now, why this topic? So basically, I feel like I've been in a pattern where I keep on repeating the same types of mistakes, or I keep on feeling like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And I know I'm not the only one. I definitely know I'm not the only one, but I've been continuously feeling like I'm in some whirlwind where it's like different setting, different environment, same situation, different setting, different environment, same situation, and I'm just like, no, but why? And now of late I've been reading a couple of books, and I've been taking time out, to read the Bible, and I've been praying, and I've been going through quite a lot, where I just realized, man, even though there are just so many other unfortunate things that will happen in this life, but also it takes you learning, it takes you being open to learning what you're supposed to be learning in that season or in that situation, for you to actually grow or outgrow certain things, and not to take them into the next level or into the next season of your life. Right? So that's why I chose this topic, and also because I'm really just passionate about it. I speak to quite a lot of people about this, so I thought, why not just bring it up on this platform, since, well, also on this platform we're supposed to just be opening up and talking about different types of things. So number one, I wrote down the advantages and the disadvantages. So the advantages of learning lessons is that in you or in me learning the necessary lessons for the necessary season, or for the particular season that I'm in, is growth. Right? I get to grow. I get to realize ukuthi it's not every time that you find a person unguye kuphela unamaphutho. It's sometimes we always put the blame on other people, but growth actually opens up your eyes to understanding the fact that no, actually it's not always the other person. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes you've got issues that you need to that you need to work through. Sometimes there's certain things that you need to let go of. Sometimes they just comes a time, as Ntosh, where you just really need to shut up. And that's one of the things that I continuously learn, because sometimes I hear my voice way louder than any other voice in whichever space that I might be in, and I find it sometimes I find it very unnecessary. Yes, I have to raise up my voice in certain situations and speak out on certain injustices or whatever else that I might need to be. I need to have an opinion also as a person, but I also need to be, or I also need to be open to new ideas and new perspectives, and other people saying things that are going to be contrary to my opinion. So the advantage of learning the lesson of that particular season is you grow within self. You get to see ukuthi no, actually le ingibiza ukuthi ngikhule ayibiza into eziningi, ibiza nje ukuthi nami ngimature, and to see ukuthi this is not the way to go. Number two is when you learn the lessons, you become more self-aware. You become more opened up to understanding yourself too, because every other situation, every other season calls for you to be more self-aware, to be more self-assertive, to be more to realize your self-worth, to bring yourself back to a point of self-love. So learning the lesson also it opens you up to actually just being more self-aware and realizing ukuthi, yeah, you're not all overarching. You're also a human being. My mom usually says ukuthi inyoni is papa phezulu mara zoke zidla phasi. So it also brings you down from that point of I'm almighty, and you come back down and you're like, oh, actually I need to be fixing this. And somehow it makes you realize ukuthi somehow you've dropped the ball, because sometimes when it comes to the idea of self-love, we become so complacent that you drop the ball. And when you learn the necessary lessons of every other situation, of every other season, then you realize, okay, no, I need to pick this up. I need to pick up self-worth. I need to pick up self-love. I need to pick up self-care, all of these things. And point number 3 is healing. When you learn the lesson, you heal yourself, you heal the people around you, you heal the environment that you are normally placed in, you heal your workspaces, you open yourself up to more healing, and that is so necessary. I think I was speaking about this on my IG TV video, and I was saying, Oguti, we seldomly heal. And we easily get triggered up by certain situations and certain circumstances. So we are called to healing. And we cannot heal if we do not learn the necessary lessons for whatever it is that might be plaguing us. So when you learn the lesson, you open yourself up to healing. And then point number 4 was the fact that you understand self. You understand that you have mistakes. You understand that you need to grant yourself the same grace that you grant other people. You understand way so many other things. Yeah, guys, I had forgotten that. Okay, no, I had not forgotten, but I really did not like green tea. And only now am I like, green tea, you're amazing. So I'm going to be sipping on some green tea here and there. But as I was saying, Guti, learning the lessons also just brings you to a point where you understand yourself. You understand so much about yourself. You understand where you are in your journey. You understand quite an awesome lot. Okay, that's my neighbor. So also learning the lesson just gives you inner peace. It gives you a whole lot of peace, because we are funda and we are chama, and you stop the petty parties. You stop the can't believe all of this is happening to me. You just get to a point of peace and understanding that things are going to happen. Zizokwenzeka izinto uthanda ungathandi, uvuma ungavumi, izinto ziyokwenzeka, and ziyokwenzeka at the most unfortunate times. And sometimes, maybe like me, I was like, sometime last week when I did a story on WhatsApp, I was like, guys, like so many things have been happening all at once, and I got to a point where I needed to be the eye in my own storm. Like I needed to stand in the eye of my own storm and be quiet and listen to myself breathe and be as present as possible, because we need to get to a point of peace. Peace is a need. Peace is, and I keep on seeing it in so many of my situations. I'm like, le ingibizela ukuthula, ayingibizeli into eziningi, ayingibizeli ukuthi ngiphendule, ayingibizeli ukuthi ngilile, ayingibizeli idrama, ingibizeli ukuthi nje ngibe ne-inner peace. Ngithi, oh, okay, this is what's happening. Okay, you just need to be okay. You just need to deal. And that's just it. So those are just like the 5 points that I had jotted down of the advantages of learning the lessons. Now to the disadvantages, almost the opposite actually of every other point that I put up. But what I noticed about not wanting to learn the lesson is being stagnant. You stand in the same spot. And that's the reason why I'm like, different setting, different environment, could be different people, but same situation. Why? How? What's going on? Like you feel yourself being at a halt. You're like stop sign. Say stop. If you're not willing to understand that in certain situations you need to be able to let go of certain things and certain people, then you find yourself standing same spot like ujamile. But if you learn the lesson for that necessary season, you feel yourself, and like we need to always just be able to embrace the fact that sometimes it's going to be 5 steps, sometimes it's going to be 2 steps forward. It doesn't always need to be 150 million steps. 2 steps is more than enough. 2 steps is all that's needed. But the disadvantage of not wanting to learn the necessary lessons for the necessary seasons, I'm sorry, Shamku Bote, you become stagnant. You stand in the same spot. You rotate in the same spot. And that's not, I don't think anybody wants to be in the place in their lives where you just feel like I'm looking jigeleza endaweni eyi-1. Why? So number 2 was bitterness. Sometimes something happens and you realize, Guti, this situation is teaching me this. And when you don't want to learn the lesson, you become bitter. You become so bitter that when something similar happens and you're called to like using the things that you might have learned from the previous situation, when you're being called into using those, you find yourself not like, you're just standing in the same spot and you're just like, yeah, actually you become so bitter. Even when you see other people actually applying the lessons that you're supposed to be applying in their lives, you're like, oh, they're just going to do it for 2 seconds. After a while, are they going to stop? That's bitterness. So when you don't want to learn the lessons, you become bitter. We are lawyer basically, in a way, because you see other people doing the big moves that you would love to do in your life, or you would love to have in your life, and then you're like, but we're gonna see where that's gonna end. It's gonna end where it's supposed to end. You're not supposed to even be like that. Funde mele ufunde in your seasons and keep it moving. Number 3, the disadvantages of not learning the lessons that you're supposed to be learning in the seasons that you're supposed to be learning them in is pride and ego. Yo. Ukuzitshela ukuthi uyazi. Ukuzitshela ukuthi khe ngayibona musindwele. And when it happened, you didn't learn from it. So now it's happening again, and you're like, yeah, no one is gonna tell me to be calm. No one is gonna tell me anything. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And when you're being told you're wrong, you're like, nah, Fontoni, why? Why am I wrong? That ego, that pride of, as Ntosh, I can never be wrong. That iyalimaza the thing. I know, iyalimaza the thing. And then the lack of empathy. When you don't learn the lessons that you're supposed to be learning, you lack empathy. You lack empathy towards yourself. You lack empathy towards other people. You just lack a whole bunch of empathy. Uyaleka. Vane batsho njalo ekhaya ukuthi hayi uyaleka. And you're like ngileka in, but uyaleka. But you lack empathy. You lack ukuzwelana nabanye abantu when they're going through certain things, because now we're in your own seasons of like supposedly learning certain things you did not allow yourself to learn. Sometimes when situations come, it calls for you to actually just stop. Like thula ujame, uzwe, ulile, nengabe kubiza ukuthi ulile, uzwisise ukuthi ngiyinto eyenzakalako, and ufunde isifundo ekumele usifunde for that season. Kunesifundo for every season. Like, I always have this prayer. I'm like, God, I pray ukuthi ngiyafunda lokho emele ngikufunde. Like, I need to, mele ngikwazi lokhu. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to feel this type of pain. I don't. It's unnecessary. I know deep down it's unnecessary. So you lack empathy, man. If like awujami in your own storm, ujame uzizwe uzwisise, then when another person goes through something similar, you lack empathy because now awafundi. And when someone does something different, you're like, how is that even possible? And then the last one that I jotted down was unforgiveness. Unforgiveness. When you don't learn the lessons, you don't get to forgive. You don't get to forgive. You don't get to sympathize with your own self. You don't get to understand that it was a mistake, which means you will repeat it. You repeat it. You repeat it. Uzoyiphinda. Uzokwenza godi. Ngoba awuqoli. And I'm saying this with so much conviction because for the longest time, and I'm still in that journey of continuously forgiving myself for allowing myself to stay in spaces that I knew were not growing me, for allowing myself to actually not believe in my dreams, for so many things. But it's not learning ukuthi manje sengiyakhula, manje I'm going to be different, manje I'm going to be in different spaces. I still want to do the same type of, like I want to keep to the same routine for things that need me to have a complete mind shift. So when mama fundi mfundo awakwazi ukuxola, you just can't forgive. And we need to be able to learn to forgive ourselves, but we also need to be able to learn the lessons. Because in some seasons, it just, like certain things, certain situations just say to you, xola. And then it's like, we keep on working backwards. We are moving backwards. We're not growing as much as we need to grow. So this is something that I heard when I was listening to a sermon by Pastor Mike Todd. And he said, it doesn't matter what you know if you don't use it. So it doesn't matter how much knowledge you may accumulate. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you might acquire. It doesn't. If you're not going to apply it, So akusincedi ukuthi sifunde imfundo, it doesn't really help us to learn the lessons and not apply them in the next levels of life. The things that we learned that when we were 16 are still relevant right now. So we're supposed to use half of the things that we learned when we were 16, half of the things that we learned when we were 25, half of the lessons that we learned when we were 14, 18, all of those things still apply. But if we do not take those lessons and consider them to have been learned by us, then we stand the chance of not using them. And that's very unfortunate, Mina. Like when I look at it, I'm like, that's like pretty unfortunate. And it would really be nice, even for me, to learn the lessons, to let go of things that I need to let go, to let go of people that I need to let go of. It's hard, it's not nice. But I realize, Guti, if I keep on wanting to drag whoever into the next season that does not need that person, that does not need that thing, then and it means in that next level I'm still going to feel like I'm failing, I'm a failure, of which I'm not. It just calls for me to do certain things, to have a mind shift, to read different books, to subscribe to different types of channels, to young talk. But yeah, we need to utilize the tools that we keep on getting along the way in order for us to be able to do better, and for those that come after us to actually just see, oh wow, this is how differently things are actually being done. So yeah, that was like all that I had written down on season lessons. We just need to be able to learn the lessons, as hard as it may be, and then after that grow and keep it moving. So yes, thank you for spending your entire, I don't know, after I've edited, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to actually watch this. I love you. God bless you. Keep on subscribing, keep on liking. I'll keep on coming back with the videos. I'll try by all means necessary to do so. I'm also on Instagram at Ntosh, and there I'm going to be dropping a couple of gems here and there. I sound like I'm this great philosopher. Also on IGTV, I'm going to be doing different videos here and then. Also still on Facebook. Still trying to work around how to separate the content. But I love you so much. God bless you. And yes, like, subscribe.